lot of people say, I don't have time to read. And that's one of the excuses that I say to myself, I don't have time to read. But I do know that reading is an important part of my life and I need to make it a priority. So even if I don't have time to read, I can find little chunks of time or times where maybe I can get a page in, because still a page is better than nothing. And similar to fitness, if you move for 5 minutes, it's better than nothing. I also used to tell myself that I couldn't read more than one book at a time, which I think self-awareness is a huge part of that. So knowing yourself best. Hey, I like to read one book at a time. I like to read multiple books at a time. Figure out what works for you if reading is a priority. So with me telling myself I don't like to read multiple books at a time and then I don't have enough time to read, that pretty much sets me up for failure. Then I went back to saying, well, how can I incorporate reading into my life? How can I make this a priority? So I now have about 5 or 6 books around the house in places that I find myself sitting, right? Because, you know, as moms or business, whatever, like working, we're always moving. But if I have it in a spot where I have 5 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever to read, then I'll do it. Not trying to be gross here, but I have one book at every toilet because I sit there. I have a book on our kitchen island that I'm reading right now that just sits on the island. I don't clean it up. I'm not a person who has to have the island cleaned up and freshened up all the time, so I leave the book there. I have a couple books on my nightstand for when I go to bed, and then I have one in my office. So literally I kind of have books everywhere, and this helps with just reading a page here or there. It helps incite a thought or you know, maybe something I want to write about. Also helps me to learn. Again, I think a big piece of this that I always talk about too is just a self-awareness game, knowing what works for you, what is important to you. If reading's not important to you, disregard this whole video. But if it is, find a way to put it into your life.